Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is Sumo Summary Show for day 3, and we're just going to jump right into it. Got some things to discuss here, so let's get sharing the screen. Patreon's chugging along fine. Thank you to so many people that have come along and signed up to watch this bus show with me. We've already got 17 videos in the playlist for the first 5 days. Uh, so what I've been doing because I'm coming home from work is combining videos like here is both Ozeki matches in one video, both Sekiwake matches in one video. It just makes it a little easier for me time-wise to get it uploaded. Here's Ura and Kirishima in one video, Hakuoho and Takeru Fuji in one video, etc. So less videos, but no less matches necessarily in the coverage. And we should keep chugging along. Don't foresee any problems. Okay, over in the standings, in the contest is now closed. And we've got one sole leader already. D299 has 16 points. Got the good team going here. Onosato, Kirishima, Takayasu, Takerufuji, Onokatsu, and Asakoru, who's burning it up down at the bottom of the Banzuke. And then 10 people tied for second, a bunch of people tied for third place. Where is Jason, you might ask? Unfortunately, I'm about almost 300 of you are better than me. I'm way down in the seventh place group, which starts at I think 294, if I saw the number right. Yeah. So there we go. My team is Onosato, Kirishima, Wakataka Kage, who I think a lot of people have, and he has 0 wins so far. Takeda Fuji, Hakuoho, and Aonishiki, who just now got his first win today. So not a bad team overall. Wakataka Kage, obviously the one who's, if I'd pick my buddy Takayasu as I should, I'd be 3 rungs higher on the ladder and up. And what would that put me? 6-5 in tied for fourth. So congrats to everybody that's doing well so far, and we'll keep an eye on that. I'll put that link down in the description. So if you want to click on it every now and then to see where you are against other people, feel free to avail yourself of that link. All right. Cheers. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Let's jump into matches. Nobody pulled out of the tournament today of note. So we'll just jump right into it. We'll look at the tournament leaders list after we talk about the matches. We'll start down in Juryo as we often do. Just have a look. Uh, Kusano, not even got his top knot yet. Wrestling under his real name, hasn't even picked a Shikona yet. A ring name at Juryo 14, young guy. What is he, 24, 23, 24? From Kumamoto, which is down in Kyushu. And he is having a great tournament so far. So hasn't been burning it up on his way up to the Juryo division. 4-3 is like getting an 8-7 kind of a thing. But right here, he's obviously doing very well with a 3-0 start in the Juryo division, making his debut. So good for him to start strong here. Anybody else 3-0? Hitoshi, another guy wrestling under his real name. And he is in Oitakazabeya. Let's see who he's hanging out with doing sparring. Daisho, Tobizaru, Endo. So quite a great group of senpai there for him. Tsurugisho even for him to train with, spar with, etc. So my guess is he'll probably pick a Shikono maybe when he gets promoted to the top division. And having a good start of his tournament at 3-0. And let's see. Yeah, he went 6-1 in Makuuchi in January, and some pretty good records of 5-1 there, a 5-2 there. So somebody to keep your eye out on. What else we got? Go back to Juryo here. Hokuto Fuji got his first win. by beating Hakuyozan. So that's nice for the Juryo 8. And he looked good. They showed a clip of it really quickly in the top division broadcast. And it was a decisive win, Oshidashi for him. Kotoeho's undefeated. Fujiseun at Juryo 5 is undefeated at 3-0. And that's, oh no, and Tochi Taikai at Juryo 3. So still, substantial amount of guys haven't lost yet. And we'll feature some matches from Juryo at the weekend. Okay, jumping up to the top division, we had a Juryo man, Tamashoho, who was undefeated, fighting Maegashira 18 Toki Hayate, but he lost, so he's now 2-1. Toki Hayate getting his second win to go to 2-1. Matakeumi getting a second win over Shirokuma. The White Bear is winless at 0-3, so he's got to turn things around at this low Maegashira 17, or he'll find himself back down in Juryo. Asakoru going up against Koto Shoho, both men undefeated going into that match, and Koto Shoho, the unlucky recipient of his first loss. Asakoru, though, burning it up right now at 3-0, and he was 9-6 at Juryo 2 after being a Maegashira 17, but not quite getting his Kachikoshi in November of last year. So he wants to obviously get good numbers, stay up in the top division, and he's well on his way here with a 3-0 start. So good for him. Aonishiki, as I mentioned, getting his first win. He beat Sadanoumi, who's winless, in a battle of the Maegashira 15. Shishi got a second win by beating Chiranoumi. Takara Fuji, the veteran, beating Ryuden, who got an extra day of rest yesterday when Nishiki Fuji pulled out of the tournament. Didn't help him, though. Didn't come back and get this is his first loss. Onokatsu undefeated at 3-0 by beating Meisei. Midori Fuji at 2-1, beating Nishikigi. Endo undefeated at M9, beating Shonana Umi, who has 0 wins so far. Atami Fuji going to 2-1 by beating Oshoma, who's also winless. And then this is where my coverage started on the Patreon channel. We had Tamawashi versus Hakuoho, and man, Tamawashi just railroaded Hakuoho right out of the dohyo. And great Oshidashi win for the veteran to go to 2-1. That's Hakuoho's first loss. Takeda Fuji, I'm not really that surprised when Hiradoumi does well these days. He's a skilled wrestler down at M6 right now, but just had Takeda Fuji's number and got the win to go to 2-1 himself. Kim Bozan got his first win by beating Shodai. Takayasu undefeated, yay, at 3-0 by beating Ichi Yamamoto, who they call it a slapdown, but Ichi Yamamoto looked like maybe he turned his ankle, and I'm worried a little bit about that. He kind of fell down in front of Takayasu, like he misstepped or something. So that was a little scary, but he got up and walked out, so maybe it's okay. Ura crowd going crazy, beat Takanosho with a Totari move. So he's now 2-1. Takanosho yet to win at 0-3. Kirishima, the Komusubi, getting another win to go to 2-1 by beating Chiyoshoma. Oho getting his first win at the rank of Sekewake, beating Tobizaru. So he's now 1-2. Both Sekewake winning today. Daisho also won to go to 2-1. Wakataki Kage, there he is. He's on my team. I picked him in the M1 to M4 grouping. And yep, not a win yet. So we'll see. Who does he have tomorrow? Let's see. He's fought, he's fought 3 really hard opponents, let's face it. An Ozeki, the Yokozuna, and a Sekewake. And tomorrow he has another Ozeki. And that's just what it's like when you're Maegashira 1. It's just a meat grinder of a rank. So, yeah, it's going to be tough in the first week for him to get. If you can escape at M1, if you can escape the first week at like 2-5, or even better, like 3-4, you're doing pretty good. And then you have to make up for that with wins in the second week when you're facing people ranked around you or below you. But yeah, 0-3 start for him. Abi just continuing to dominate. So far, he's beaten the Yokozuna on day one. Then he had Tobizaru, then an Ozeki on day three. Got Chiyoshima tomorrow. So very good start for Abi at Komusubi, undefeated. Kotozakura, though, the Ozeki needs those wins. He's got to get eight, erase Kadoban status, but he is now 1-2. Onosato continuing to win. Not a lot of, feels like maybe the pressure's off. People aren't necessarily talking about him as much because all eyes are on Hoshoryu, and maybe Kotozakura is taking some of the attention because it's like, is he going to get his eight? And nobody's really talking much about Onosato, but he's quietly winning. He's obviously the highest ranked wrestler who's undefeated right now, and he beat Gonoyama today. Then, of course, the final match of the day, Yokozuna Hoshoru taking on the other Maegashira one, Wakamoto Haru. Both men entered this match. No, I take that back. I was going to say both men entered 2-0, but that's not true. Hoshoru lost on day one. So he was 1-1. He was 2-0. Couldn't get a third win in a row, though. It would have been a gold star victory. Hoshoru won in a very strange fashion. It amused Murray, the English language commentator on NHK, to no end. He kind of went in, he had this kotanage arm lock kind of throw going, and then it slipped off, and it then became kind of a kubinage, a neck thing, and then that slipped, and he literally kind of almost looked like he pushed him out with his butt. Because he was, his back was to Wakamoto Haru, whose just momentum was carrying him off the dohyo. But it's just the way it transpired and looked. It was rather humorous. But a win is a win. Doesn't really matter how you get it. And Hoshoru is now 2-1. And Wakamoto Haru, that's his first loss. He is also 2-1. Okay, so that was the matches on day three. Let's look at the leaderboard now. Tournament leaders. So we've got one, two, three, four, six guys tied, undefeated so far in the top division. It is interesting how quickly, you've got 42 wrestlers that start the tournament. Now, of course, half of those guys are going to lose on day one, right? So you're down to 22 or so, 21 guys who are going to win on day one. And then, from there, it's kind of like how many of them can maintain and keep winning. And only six were able to do it into the third day. So that just tells you a little bit of something about competitive sumo and how hard it is to get wins day after day after day for 15 days straight, and makes you respect the Zensho Yusho, this perfect 15-0 record. Uh, so the top ranked guy, as I said, is Onosato. Then we've got a Komusubi. And then we've got four rank and filers, Takayasu, Endo, Onokatsu, and Asakoru, all undefeated right now on top of the leaderboard. And then if we go down to Juryo, it's the same thing. Basically, five guys all tied at 3-0. Tochi Taikai, Fujiseun, Kotoeho, Hitoshi, and Kusano. And these two guys are making their debut. So very interesting there. Doing well at the bottom of the Juryo Banzuke, but they will start to have to fight harder opponents as the week goes on. And then you go down into, for instance, the list of Makuuchi guys, because not many of them have fought a second match yet. So Enho is on here in the one win group. There he is at Makuuchi 30, and he will fight again. Probably, let's see, does he fight tomorrow? Yes, he fights Hoku Tenkai tomorrow to see if he can get win number two. So we'll keep rooting for him. And then down in the fourth division, look at all these guys. Down in the fourth division, uh, Sandamne, that's where you find, not in the 2-0 group because he hasn't fought a second match yet, but you find Asanoyama, the former Ozeki. Where is he? Here he is. Woo, way down here. So he just had his birthday on March 1st. So happy birthday. He's 31 now. And he fights again on day four against Kawamura. And yep, so he was Komusubi about a year ago. and then the injury took him down, 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 and now he's fighting his way back up. And in July of 2020, which was a ways back now, was when he became an Ozeki. So former Ozeki fighting his way back up now, starting in the fourth tier division. So keep an eye on his wins and losses. All right. Last part of today is to look at the day four matchups. We'll see who's fighting tomorrow on Wednesday. Start down in Juryo. Let's just see if anything jumps out, like they put a 3-0 against a 3-0. Hitoshi's got Daiseis on. That's a good matchup there. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Tochitaikai has Roga here. Fujiseun has Oshomi. So some good matchups. We'll see if the guys can maintain. Into the top division, Juryo won Kageyaki, who's struggling, veteran of the top division. Uh, but let's see, when was he? He was Maegashira 16 in January, but only got 6 and 9. So he just ping pongs back and forth. Juryo, Maegashira, Maegashira, Juryo, Maegashira, and now Juryo again. So, but a 0 and 3 start, unfortunately for him. So we'll see if he can get a win over Shirokuma tomorrow in the first match of the day in the top division. But Shirokuma also winless at 0 and 3. Asakoru hopes to maintain his spotless record with a win over Toki Hayate tomorrow. Aonishiki has Matake Umi, Koto Shoho, Sadanoumi, Ryuden, Chiranoumi, both men 2 and 1. Onokatsu tries to maintain his undefeated streak against Takara Fuji. Shishi against Midori Fuji, both men 2 and 1. Nishikigi winless against only one win Meisei. Hakuoho has Shonano Umi. Endo versus Oshoma. Atami Fuji Shodai. Then the veteran Tamawashi against Takeru Fuji. That's a fun matchup there. I'll probably have that on the channel and sandwich it together with the Ura match here. Ura versus Harada Umi. Himbozan against Ichi Yamamoto. One of them will get his second win of the tournament. Tobizaru versus Takayasu. Chiyoshoma against Komusubi Abi. Then our Sekewake matches. Sekewake Daisho has the other Komusubi tomorrow, sorry. Kirishima, that's a fun matchup there. Both men 2 and 1. Oho against Takanosho. Then our Ozeki matches. Onosato has Wakamoto Haru. Kotozakura has a winless Wakataka Kage. And the final match of the day, Hoshoru taking on Go no Yama. All right. So some good matchups. I'll easily have probably start here. That's one video. Then probably Takayasu and Abi. That's one video. The two Sekewake is a video. The two Ozeki is a video. And then Yokozuna Hoshoru. And, if some of these guys down in the lower part, Onokatsu and Asakoru, keep winning, I will put their videos up, especially, by the weekend, if they're like 6-0, 7-0, but maybe even before that. Okay, so if you're over on the Patreon, I hope you're enjoying the coverage. And if you were able to enter the contest, there's my team. I wrote it down, so I'll remember. I hope you're doing well. I'll link for that down in the description, along with everything else you need a link for down in the box here on YouTube. Anything else? Nope, I think that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. So, see you tomorrow, day 4, and we'll talk a little bit more about sumo again. This weekend, I'd like to do a live sumo summary show. I think those are fun. So maybe Sunday the 16th, my time. Like I'll do it late at night on Sunday. So it'll be early on Sunday for most of you, or midday if you're in Europe. And we'll do a live one with, chat and everything. So kind of the midway point of the Bashos. You can check in. Those are fun. And yep, we'll just keep chugging along. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.